Alright, next to add to your notes is the volume of a sphere. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 the product of pi and the cube of the radius of the sphere. Let's try it. What is the volume of the sphere in terms of pi? Well, I always like to write the formula again one time. So we know that the volume, 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. So let's start by substituting our values. So that equals 4/3, and we multiply this by pi. And we know that the radius is 6 cubed, which means 6 times 6 times 6. So we enter these three in our calculator, and we leave in terms of pi. So don't put pi. So that would be 288 pi cubic meters. Now let's remember, for volume, we cube the unit. Okay, our last question, using volume to find surface area. The volume of a sphere is 5,000 cubic meters. What is its surface area to the nearest square meter? Well, to find surface area, we need our radius. So let's solve the radius first. So we know volume is equal to 4/3 times pi times the radius cube. So this question gives us what the volume is. So let's substitute. 5,000 is the volume, so equals 4/3 pi times the radius cube. Because we're solving for the radius, let's get rid of the 4/3 pi by dividing it to both sides of the equal sign and over here. This cancels out. Now, how do we divide these fractions? We know to divide fractions, we take the reciprocal and multiply. So that would be 5,000 times the reciprocal, which is 3/4 pi. And that would equal to the radius cube. Now, how do we uncube it? We need to find the cube root to both sides. So r is equal to the cube root of 5,000 times 3/4 pi. And this we enter in our calculator by going to the math function, going down to number 4, where we see the cube root, and entering. And then you will see the cube root sign. Then you can enter 5,000 parentheses 3/4 pi, close parentheses, and enter. And we will get r is approximately 10.6. So now we have our radius. So we can solve for our surface area. Surface area is equal to 4 times pi times r squared. So let's substitute. 4 pi. Now we know that the radius is 10.6 squared. Enter all of these values in your calculator, and we would get approximately 1,412 square meters. And this is approximately.